I am so excited to announce another incredible speaker waiting in the wings to share her incredible, powerful story of vulnerability, and one that I'm sure every single one of you can resonate with. So we have got Eulalia Pietro waiting in the wings. Now, Eulalia has demonstrated a remarkable ability to reinvent herself and acquire a diverse range of skills, from mastering marketing strategy and communication to sales, product innovation, risk management, product execution, and leadership. Eulalia has built a solid foundation for her coaching and training business today. Her focus is on empowering women and organizations to harness the power of joy, enabling them to amplify their impact and achieve outstanding results. As the founder and coach of Move to Joy, Eulalia firmly believes that joy is the secret ingredient to success. I love that. She is on a mission to guide individuals in overcoming challenges, discovering their inner joy and creativity, cultivating resilience in a way that is both effective and captivating. Eulalia's work as an international coach, a mentor, a consultant, and a writer revolves around helping women tap into their expression. She also works with organizations fostering collaboration, diversity, and long-lasting relationships with their corporate talents. Eulalia's coaching approach is a unique blend of mindset hacks, joy, and creativity tools that she has developed through her personal experiences and passions. While her expertise lies in career fulfillment, business development, and team collaboration, Eulalia has delved into various topics, particularly those related to mindset and overcoming obstacles to achieve personal fulfillment. Her unwavering passion lies in witnessing people succeed and become the best versions of themselves. While Eulalia finds joy in dancing, the passionate Argentinian tango, and is actively pursuing this passion to transform it into an additional professional venture, she enjoys expressing herself through watercolor painting, indulging in her love for writing fiction, and as a proud mother to Emma, a teenager brimming with wisdom and humor, Eulalia shares a vibrant and fulfilling life with her daughter and their lively white Maltese, Joy. Oh, and you couldn't make a beautiful name for the dog. Eulalia, please do take the floor.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you for the intro. Hi, everybody. I'm Eulalia. And as Claire said, I'm a coach, consultant, writer. I've just published a book called Unlocking Success, and that went best-selling. So I'm very excited to share that with you. It's also my first speaking engagement on an international summit. So I'm very happy to be here, very happy to share my story and to put it at service for you. So today I'm kind of getting out of my challenges, but kind of 4 to 6 months ago, that wasn't the case. So I was in a very deep and difficult moment for myself, because what has happened, I was rebuilding into my journey as a consultant and as a coach, as I had stopped working in early 2023 to take on some trainings and reinvent and transition into the coaching space. And that had been triggered by some specific issues that I had at the time back then. And therefore, what happened in October, I actually was feeling very upset and angry with all that has happened for the past 4 years. And just to give you a glimpse of what had happened, basically in 2019, I got separated from my daughter's father, and I'm living abroad, away from my family, with very few connections, working a lot at that time. We had a beautiful house. We had a family for our daughter, and that event brought down many of my internal systems and external systems, because we had to sell the house. Then there was the COVID pandemic. So I got COVID on the moment I had to move out of the house in 2022, I start to have issues with my eyesight. 2 months later, after moving and getting all the things fixed with the new house, I go for a visit, and I get a life-threatening diagnosis back then. And after that life-threatening diagnosis, where I was basically said that I could deteriorate very easily in the forthcoming 2 years, I have to make a major decision because I was really not well. I had a daughter. I was a single mother away of her family. I could not move out of the country where I live. I live in Luxembourg and I work in Luxembourg majorly, even though I travel. And I couldn't move out of the country because of my daughter. And at the same time, I wanted, and I had this unwavering belief that I wanted her to feel as safety as much as I could and as much as I could give her, and to have a good life as much as I could give her. Also, because in my childhood, I knew what it was not to be safe. Because of my family issues back then. And therefore, for me, that was a priority. And therefore, I don't tell anything to my daughter about my struggles. I go through them basically alone, because and this is where I develop a lot. And I go back to joy, because the question I ask myself is, okay, what it is that you had 15 years ago that you don't have anymore. And why I say 15 years is because this is where it's shifted for me. And the question was, and the response, sorry, I will go back to joy, because I was a very joyful person before everything else happened. And so when I ask myself the question, I'm in October 2022 and I'm still working, and I tell myself, okay, what it is that will give you the most joy in this moment? And the answer is, you have to stop to work. You have to take time for yourself. You have to refocus on things that are important for you. And even though that's a leap of faith. And this is what I do. So I call up my clients and say, listen, I got health issues. I have to go. I can adjust and give you time to replace me, but I really have to go and think for myself. In this moment, it's priority number one. So this is where I learned I had to give priority to myself on a health perspective, and also self-loving myself, taking care of myself. And then I embark on a whole journey of taking care of myself, training myself, because I reconnect basically to what I wanted to do as a kid, which was arts in many forms, dancing Argentine tango, but also painting and writing, also sing, and psychology. So psychology was, kind of a heavy choice to make 2 years ago, because of the number of years that we are required to learn. And therefore I decided, okay, I'll go into coaching and I'll be more looking forward rather than looking backward to trauma. And that's okay. And so I embark in that journey. So I stop working, I do all I have to do. And then in the meantime, I do a lot of health checks, and I get full for my blood test, eyesight test, etc. And as I go through these 2 years, I keep on as much as I can with tango, even though it was hard, because later I discovered I was in long COVID, and therefore I had to go for the process there. And the diagnosis was definitely confirmed last year, in September, where I had the last IRM, where they confirmed that my brain was okay, and therefore I could now focus on my business. In the meantime, I've done a lot of training. I've continued nurturing my artistic and creative sides. I've written the first book that I self-published, which is called Becoming a Champion of Joy. And then I participated into projects, and this is where the other book, Unlocking Success, was written. and the collaboration was done with international professionals from around the world. So, and this is where we got to be bestsellers all together. And so in that journey, what happens is, okay, I've, taken care of myself, taking care of my health. I've healed because in the same time, everything was cleared on that side. But I have to sustain myself basically through my own resources. And I invested a lot in trainings. I invested a lot in promotional activities for my business, and my resources start to diminish. And this is where I get to, September, October last year, and I'm kind of in panic. I'm upset because I followed the fact of following myself and having to go through that space of joy, reconnect to myself, heal myself. But I am in the space of I have a responsibility for my daughter, and I have to this is real time, right? This is how Claire is powerful, because I never allow myself this. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay, because there is a positive turn out of this. So I'm in this space where I'm upset, where I'm fearful for my daughter, and I'm I'm in my last training of tango. I'm training professionally for tango, and I'm in the space where I'm training before the training, because that's me. And and while I do the training, I'm upset. I'm in this train of thoughts, I've done everything I was supposed to do, and things don't come back to me. I just want things to move. And while I do this, I was doing leg lifting, and very heavily with a lot of strength. And I bumped my foot into a hard surface, and I broke my metatarsal. Yes, that's the power of emotions. And so not only was at the moment I felt the pain, I forgot about my sadness. I forgot about my anger. I was like, ouch, that hurts. And so I went into training, just being present there and showing to be there despite the hurdles. I did what I could, very little, but at least I could take notes and then do things after I was healed. And that represented a moment of taking a distance. So there are several ways we can approach challenges, and what works for me, I learned, is taking distance, which doesn't mean not necessarily not showing vulnerability, but taking a higher perspective. And also, I remember something I did when I was younger, when I was a teenager, and that I didn't have to carry the responsibility of a family on my shoulders. Was that I would isolate and go to flow states by doing creative things. And Claire introduced joy as being the secret skill to success, which is, and I can confirm it is. And the way to get to flow is creativity. So it's the things I learned there is that I had to build in creativity, in joy, to be able to be in flow, and this is where doors open. And this is what happened, because as soon as I started to not being able to take time to dance as much as I had to, I started to go into visual arts more during the weekend, because I'm painting and I'm preparing a visual exhibition for this summer about tango and what tango is, because tango is way more than what the cultural image of tango is. It is in fact a very spiritual dance, and I'm doing this soul journey with it. And when has it happened? I basically made some connections with people. That once was at an entrepreneur summit for women in tech. And then I spoke to a startup founder of his difficulties in the early stages. And then I spoke to a VC investor about women entrepreneurship. And then I reconnected to my own journey as restarting an enterprise and having to do all of it. And the fear and the willingness to to bring something positive out of it, and to be there, and to bring a message, and therefore this is what happened. So all that process channeled into, just before Christmas, starting a new book about women entrepreneurship and going into the challenges of women and entrepreneurs as they go through their startup journey. And now I'm 60% done. I will be finishing the book in a few weeks. And I'm very happy because that book, I know, will help women, will help entrepreneurs, will help young entrepreneurs too. I'm writing this book for the youth, the women, the entrepreneurs who want to change the world, who want to be the force of change. And also I wrote it for myself at the same time. And I collapsed everything I had from my previous working experience, from coaching, from mindset, because I developed a lot of tools from neurosciences and mindset. And I'm collapsing all of that into that book so that I can help someone else and be kind of a reference book. Any problem may happen, we have a reference, we can go there. And that's there for us to the safe space to give us confidence, to empower us, and to get us to move forward. And this is basically where I'm at in the space of, I'm going to the end of this journey. And while I go to the end of this journey, and I also see the opportunities on how to make more opportunities and flip the critical or sensitive situation about my finances, and how to create opportunities out of all the work I've done so far on this book. And so after feeling lost with a lot of self-doubt, beating myself up for, taking the leap of faith and maybe thinking more about myself than my daughter at that time, even though it was necessary. Today, I feel myself in a space where I'm getting to seizing the opportunities. And even though I'm not yet flipped and moved over that space completely, I feel it. I feel it from the success I had with publishing the book, the last book, and getting to be best-selling author. I feel it from being with Claire, who had hundreds of requests to be on the summit, and making bets of having me on this journey. So thank you, Claire. Um, and and I feel it. I just feel it. I feel the clarity. I feel that I'm taking out the creative part of myself, and making space for new things to come forward. Because what I learned is that I had all the things in myself that were taking space, and I wasn't giving it out of the word to the world. And that, because of that space being taken, could not generate opportunities for other opportunities to come to me. And therefore, I now feel in a safer space, in a more empowered space, in a more joyful space, in a more creative space, and definitely in flow. So I hope that reconnects with you and that inspires you to move forward and just move to it, through it, and go and seize your opportunities.
Oh my gosh, Eulalia, I have no words. I know that every single one of you watching and listening to this talk was taken aback, just as I was. You gave us something so powerful in that talk. And I want to really commend you for that, because this is your first ever talk on an international stage. You would not have known that, would you? And to allow yourself to give us, as the audience, that vulnerability, it's a privilege for all of us watching and listening, because you took us to a place that most speakers don't allow us as an audience to visit and to connect to. And I really want to make sure that you realize how moving that was for all of us watching that talk. Eulalia, I would love to ask you, how did it feel going to that depth, knowing that people are going to be watching that talk and having their own thoughts and their own feelings around it? But what did that feel like as the speaker for you to hold that space?
It was very revealing. I think that's a word, because my family had never seen me cry, basically. My daughter saw me cry once when I was in the car and we were coming back from Italy, because I'm Italian originally, and had been a problem with her father, and that's the only time she saw me crying. So to me it was very liberating in a way. So thank you, Claire, for that space. I don't want to touch. I learned in time, as part of my mindset work, to anytime I feel tempted to go into judgment and go back, with the images and having thoughts of, I don't know what people would think about it, because that would be typically me many years ago. I've learned to literally, this is what I do in my mind. I take that thought and pull it off, like
Yes.
physically. This is what the image. So I don't even allow to cross my mind. As soon as I see it coming, I take it off. And it's not censored, because I'm letting the thought coming in. It's just I pull it off.
Yeah.
And that works. I find it works for me. Try it out for yourself. So basically, I want to kind of protect. So this is a way of protecting myself from beating myself up and starting to integrating eventual external judgment on myself.
Yeah.
And this is why in the end it stays as a liberating, empowering experience. The fact of allowing ourselves to be human and to show the process of how hard it is to deliver your gifts to the world, because the people our audience and you are watching are here because you got connected to the theme, because you've got something in yourself that you like to bring forward, and you don't know yet what it resembles to, and maybe what I said to you could scare you, but I can tell you, I've reviewed many, many cases of global successes for my book and that I'm writing. and everyone faced their demons in the journey. And even the ones that didn't face them in the beginning, because everything went smooth in the beginning, sooner or later it comes to hit you. So in the end, I told myself it's better to hit that thing when it's in the beginning, because there is, this is where you get the things fixed quickly. It's even more agile from an organizational perspective because there are very few people around, so there is low reputational impact or lower. There is more agility than having to, adjust on companies that have thousands of employees or hundreds of thousands of employees. So if you get to fix the foundations and the fundamentals in the beginning and go to your demos, go through them. I see myself, and this is very interesting because I had the issue for having to heal from my heart, and then I wrote a fiction book because I also write fiction in the outset of separating, and then I had the health and mental health issue that I speak of in Becoming a Champion of Joy. And this is where I wrote another book. And then I had this entrepreneur issue. And this is where I see myself as Alice in Wonderland with her sword going to the dragon and just killing the dragon in the throat. And throat is the chakra of expression, by the way. And so it seems that for me, what it works is expressing myself through writing. So maybe I would like to invite everyone to find their own way of expressing what's the hurdle in you and just go to it and do it.
Beautiful. Eulalia, I couldn't have said it better myself. Everything you've said is so true. Hurdles are part of a journey. They're part of growth. They're part of expansion. They are inevitable. It's how we lead ourselves through them that really matters. And your story is one of triumph. It's one of overcoming, and it's also one of resilience and of not giving up, and of also knowing that this isn't the end. There are still going to be more hurdles, there are still going to be more obstacles, but it's having the tools to know that you've got yourself and you have got yourself. Eulalia, could you please tell everyone how they can come and get into your amazing Alice in Wonderland world?
Oh, there is my website, which is called, www.movetojoy and then .coach, not com, coach. Or on Instagram, move.to.joy. And basically that's it.
Beautiful. And we will put all of those links below so you can go and get in Eulalia's world now. Why wouldn't you? What an incredible story. What an incredible share. What an incredible speaker. Eulalia, thank you so much for joining us. And for you guys watching, go and head to Eulalia's pages, her website. Let her know how her talk moved you, how it impacted you, what it enabled you to see in yourself that maybe you couldn't see before, because that's why we speak. As speakers, we want to know that we are empowering you to take action on the back of it. And head over to your next video now to join us for the next talk in the Legends Summit. Sending you all much love. Eulalia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, everyone. Bye.